Tina and I am back, and I am here with another Swatch Fest video for you guys. This time featuring the MAC Bangin Brilliant Eyeshadow Collection, which is an extension to their permanent eyeshadow range. They have now 24 new eyeshadows and 6 new powder blushes that are here to stay. So they're added to the permanent range, and these are more bold, in-your-face, intense colors. And I'm really happy for this extension to the permanent range because I felt like they were missing a few bright pops of color, which I've kind of come to expect from MAC. They do limited edition collections all the time that have these bold, brilliant colors, but in their permanent lineup, it's almost like they don't have those bright pops of colors. So now they've extended the range, and 10 of the shades of eyeshadows that they're declaring here are Dazzleshadows, which debuted last year. I did a full swatch fest of all the Dazzleshadows, and these are back, and now they're all permanent, and I am happy for this. This formula is similar to the Moondust eyeshadows from Urban Decay. They're a pressed pigment with glitter in it. It's like a hybrid of a loose glitter and eyeshadow, so it's a great addition to their lineup, and I'm really happy for these because I love them when I had them. They're a little bit messy because they are, again, pressed glitter, so they do get tricky, but the colors are beautiful. They have beautiful duochrome shades. I am going to link the video where I swatched these Dazzleshadows. I did them before, so I won't repeat them in this video, so I'll just link that video down below. What I'm going to swatch for you in this video are the 14 new eyeshadow shades, so the bright, bold, intense eyeshadow shades, and they have 5 new blush shades that are in the small packaging. So they're in the small little eyeshadow packaging, and they're calling them small blushes. And they say there are 6 shades, but I believe that I only have 5 of the shades because there are only 5 currently available. But they've expanded the range, and if you want to see all the fun brand new colors that they have available, then stay tuned and let's get right into the swatches. As usual, I will swatch these eyeshadows over a very light layer of primer. And for the swatches, I am using my Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow brush. First shade up is Shock Factor, which is described as a lime green, and this one has a matte finish. This one is a very sheer neon green shade with a matte finish. Then we have the shade Nice Energy, which is a Velox Pearl finish. This one is described as a electric yellow lime green. This one is a very similar shade to Shock Factor, but it has a shimmery shine to it and better pigmentation and color payoff. Then we have the shade New Crop, which is described as a vivid hunter green with pearl, and this one has a frost finish. This one is a medium tone grassy green with a slight sheen to it, and it has decent color payoff, but you do have to kind of pack it on to get that full pigmentation. Here we have the shade Teal Appeal, which is described as an intense teal blue green, and this one has a Velox Pearl finish. This one is a beautiful shimmery blue green teal shade. It's really gorgeous and it has great pigmentation. Then we have the shade How Royal, which is also a Velox Pearl, and this one is described as a pearly cerulean blue. And that is exactly what it is. It's a rich, true cerulean blue with a sheen. It is so gorgeous and bold and intense. Then we have the shade In the Shadows, which is described as a vibrant dark blue. This is a frost finish. And it's exactly what it says. It's a rich, vibrant, dark blue shade. It's like a vibrant, glowy neon navy. It's a really beautiful shade with great pigmentation again. And then we have Zinc Blue, which is a matte finish. This one is described as a deep ocean blue. This one can come off a little bit choppy at first, but once you build it up, it applies smoothly and it has really good pigmentation. And it's this rich, deep blue shade. It's a really great dark blue shade without being a navy. It's like a royal blue shade. Beautiful color again. And here again are the lime green shades, the grass green, the teal, and the blues. Moving on to more of the coral, oranges, and berry tones, we're going to start out with the shade Up at Dawn, which is described as a sorbet orange with a satin finish. This is a sheer kind of tangerine orange with a almost matte finish, but it is a very sheer color. Then we have the shade Suspiciously Sweet, which is described as a coral orange. This one has a frost finish. This is more of a red tone blood orange and it has a golden sheen to it. Again, another one with a sheer finish, but it is very beautiful. Then we have the shade Fashion's Field Day, which is described as a pinky coral. This one also has a frost finish. This one is a sheer raspberry pink, and it has a slight yellow gold sheen to it. Then we have the shade Cherry Topped. This one is described as a fuchsia pink, and it has a frost finish. This one is more of a high shine frosty pink with a silvery light pink sheen to it. And then we have the shade Ruddy, which is described as an intense red, and this one is a Velox Pearl. It's more of a metallic blood red shade with a coppery sheen to it. It's actually really pretty for an eyeshadow color. Then we have the shade Oh My Mocha. This one is described as an antiqued cranberry and it has a frost finish. This to me is more of a burnt brown sugar shade with a little bit of a reddish cranberry undertone, but it comes off mostly brown to me. And then last up we have the shade I'm Into It, which is described as a dark red brown, and this one has a matte finish. This one is a beautiful dark rich red brown shade. It's really smooth and it builds up really nicely as well without being overly patchy. And again, here are those more coral, orangey, and red berry tones. Onto the blush shades. I'm going to swatch this over a very light layer of primer on my arm using a fluffier brush. This is my IT Cosmetics Airbrush All Over Shadow Brush number 119. The first shade up is Bright Response, which is described as a vibrant clean orange, and this one has a frost finish. This one is a bright orange color with a yellow gold sheen to it. And I'm swatching it with the eyeshadow brush so you can also see it in full opacity and in case you want to use it as an eyeshadow instead. Then we have the shade Newsflash, which is described as a red orange with pearl and it has a satin finish. This one is so beautiful. It's like a reddened orange shade. Really gorgeous color. You want to blend this one out though and not use it so intensely, of course. And here it is swatched intensely if you want to use it as an eyeshadow. And it's a really beautiful, bright, corally red shade. I think that one would be perfect on the lid actually. Next up we have the shade Bright Pink. This one is described as an intense fuchsia pink and it has a matte finish. This one is a bright blue-based magenta pink shade and it's really in your face. It's really bold and beautiful. And here it is swatched as an eyeshadow. It does take a little bit more to build it up as an eyeshadow, obviously. But again, bright blue-based pink. And then next we have the shade Saucy Miss, which is described as a bright blue pink. This one is definitely a bright blue pink. It almost comes off like a purple, like a lavender pink. And again, here it is swatched intensely. It looks very similar to the previous shade, but it definitely has more of a blue base to it, like a more purpley base to it. And then last up we have the shade Never Say Never. This one is described as a deep scarlet red and it has a matte finish. This one is more of a bright true red shade, like a candy apple red. And here it is again as an eyeshadow. This is actually a great red shade. So again, here are those 5 blush shades swatched. And even though they're blush shades, I think MAC had to do that because the color additives, the red and pink tones, are not passed by the FDA for safe use around the eyes. So they didn't want to get in trouble by calling these eyeshadows because of those additives, but I think you can take the risk and use these as eyeshadows and they would be beautiful. I really love this color selection. Or you can use them as a blush, so you can use them as dual function, and they're in a smaller pan, so that can be a little bit troublesome to use as a blush. But anyway, here are the shades. Alright guys, so now that you have seen the swatches, let's just do a quick chat about the eyeshadows, the new blushes, and the Dazzleshadows. And price-wise, these still match up to the current pricing of MAC eyeshadows. They're $16 for each in the little pots. But since these are permanent to their collection, I do expect them to have the Pro Pan forms available, which are $6 a piece, and you just have to pop them in your own magnetized palette. And I am hopeful that that will become available sooner rather than later, but for now, if you're gonna grab them, they're available in the little black pots from MAC, and these are $16 a piece, and they do contain 0.05 ounces of product. So their standard sizing for MAC, they haven't gone down in size, the sizing is still the same. And the packaging is the traditional black pot packaging from MAC. It hasn't changed one bit. It does have a see-through lid, so you can see the color clearly through the lid, and it is secured by a little tab fit that keeps them nice and closed. And I don't know what it is, but I love the snap of the MAC packaging. And then on the back of the pot, we have a label with the name of the blush or eyeshadow. On the back of the blushes, it does say powder blush, and there's even a little face symbol that indicates that it's intended for use on the face and not on the eyes. Then you have sizing information and manufacturing details as well. And I am really happy with the extension of shades. We have bright pinks and blues, and there's some cranberry shades as well. I think it's a great selection of colors, and it really fits in with kind of the trend that's happening now with more intense shades, and I'm glad that MAC is finally on board with the bold, intense colors. And they have some really great shades here. As you can tell from the swatches, some of them are so-so. They're not the best shades because they don't apply as intensely as you want, but with bold shades sometimes you don't want an intense color. But I will say that the blue shades are beautiful. So we have How Royal is a gorgeous shade in the shadows, and Zinc Blue, I absolutely adore those shades. I think they are beautiful, they're intense, they're bold. The green shade New Crop takes a little bit of building up to get to that full color payoff, but it's still a nice shade, and it does take work, but it's not like impossible to get it to show up really great. And that green, that is a green that is not seen a lot, and I think this is just a great grass green shade, and it's a frost finish, so it's a really beautiful addition to their collection as well. Oh My Mocha is oh my god gorgeous, and I love that deep kind of cranberry burnt sugar shade. It's really gorgeous. And then I'm Into It is such a great matte, bold, burgundy brownish shade, and it's so great, and the pigmentation is phenomenal. I love this shade, and it's comparable to the Black Plum shade from Bobbi Brown, which I love. So if you're looking for a rich, dark burgundy dark shade, that's a great one. And the shade Teal Appeal is also a nice one. It's again one that you have to work with a little bit to get the full pigmentation, but it builds up nicely. It's a good shade. The only questionable shades that I had were the Shock Factor, which is the lime green, and the Nice Energy. Those aren't as intense, and yellow shades are notorious for not being able to build up really intensely, and I don't think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards those shades necessarily because they're not the most wearable ones. And then Up at Dawn and Suspiciously Sweet, the more corally orangey shades, those are decent shades. They're not spectacular, but they're nice additions to the collection. And if you're going for a subtle coral shade for those warmer looks, those are nice shades to have as well. And then Fashion's Field Day and Cherry Top and Ruddy, those shades are kind of middle of the road. They perform decently for what they are. They're pinky shades. They're more cranberry shades. They work decently. They're not my favorite shades, but they work decently. But I wouldn't chase those. I would test them out yourself and see what you feel about them. And then the blush shades. Here is where it sings. And I know a lot of people are going to probably use these shades on their eyes, but be mindful that these are blush shades. So the red tones, the red pigments in them can irritate your eyes. But if you don't have a problem with pink and red eyeshadows and you don't really get irritated from them and you don't get staining, these are fantastic eyeshadows. if you use them as eyeshadows. They're blushes, but if you use them as eyeshadows, listen, they are so in your face, bold and intense and beautiful, and I am in love with those, and they work great as blush shades too. So it's like you get a miniature blush, you might not run through a large blush, so you use a miniature one and it works on your eyes too. It's like so perfect, and the formulation is great. They do match up to their pro blush shades, and they blend really nicely on the cheeks as well. So I really love the blush shades. The blush shades, every single one of them was beautiful and applied great. And then the Dazzleshadows, which I didn't swatch in this video, the swatch video is linked below. Those are, I still love them. I think they're beautiful. I think they're interesting. They have these duochrome magical shifts to them. They would be great to create an eye like this that I just did, and there's a tutorial for this, so don't worry. The shades are just really gorgeous, and I'm glad that MAC has added to their permanent range and added not just neutral shades and just run-of-the-mill tones, but they added bold, banging, brilliant shades, which I absolutely adore. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. I will also link my swatch video for the full lineup of neutral shades and colorful shades from MAC. I did a full swatch fest of my entire collection, so I will link those down below as well so you can check them out. But this is an extension to the range, and I thought I would go ahead and share them with you because I'm excited, and I hope you're excited too. So check them out if you're interested, or wait until they get the little pro pan size because they're going to be cheaper. And yeah, they're permanent to the range, so you don't have to rush out and get them all at once. You can take your time, check them out, see what you're into, see if you want to pick up a couple of the shades. But I do recommend them, except for the hit or miss shades that I mentioned before. So until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you guys. Bye.